Solo Sikoa joins Roman Reigns' match at SummerSlam. Kofi Kingston returns from injury. Kevin Owens addresses split from Sami Zayn. WWE poor booking. Controversial ending to close out Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Anoa'i family member shakes the Bloodline saga. Which movie did WWE's Solo Sikoa act in? Let's jump right into it. Kofi Kingston returns for injury. WWE star and New Day member Kofi Kingston is on the verge of making a comeback to in-ring action, according to the latest reports. Kofi was last seen on TV during the March 3 edition of SmackDown. He suffered an ankle injury when Drew McIntyre landed on him during a melee in the build-up to WrestleMania 39. He was drafted to Raw along with New Day team member Xavier Woods during the WWE draft earlier this year. Seen Ross Sapp of Fightful provided an update during a Q&A session and mentioned that Kingston would be back in the ring soon. I was told that Kofi wasn't supposed to be that far off from returning, but that was a week or two ago, I believe. This report comes after the Battleground podcast where Kofi appeared last month to talk about his injury and the road to recovery. The former WWE champion mentioned that his recovery was in fact ahead of schedule and he was able to do things normal people do in their daily lives. He detailed that it was just a matter of time before he got back inside the squared circle. In the absence of the two former WWE champions, Xavier Woods has been holding his own on the Raw roster. The New Day member appeared in a few matches against LA Knight on SmackDown. He also faced off against Gunther in a match for the Intercontinental Champion on the April 21 episode of SmackDown. He also had a couple of matches against the Judgment Day member Dirty Dominic Mysterio. In his last TV appearance on the May 15 edition of Raw, he lost to Dom in his singles matchup. The return of Kofi will surely boost Woods' confidence and give the faction some direction on the red brand. Are you excited to see Kofi Kingston back inside the squared circle? Let us know in the comments section below. Kevin Owens addresses split from Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens recently gave his thoughts on possibly separating from his longtime best friend and WWE tag team partner Sami Zayn. Owens and Zayn have been associated with each other for the last 2 decades. In early 2023, the Canadian duo reunited in a bid to take down Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. The storyline led to a match at WrestleMania 39 where Owens and Zayn defeated the Usos to capture the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. With Zayn seated next to him, Owens said in an interview with Xfinity that they are inevitably going to separate and fight again one day. There is one thing about our careers that can't be denied. When we felt like it was time, we had no problems stabbing each other in the back and getting to it. I guess me more than him a little bit, but he's done a couple. If we think it's better for our careers to fight than to team, we have no problem doing it. But yeah, we'll be tied to one another forever. There's just no way around it, so we'll see what comes. At the time of writing, Owens and Zayn have held the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship for 119 days. Sami Zayn unsuccessfully challenged Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship on the July 24 episode of Raw. The finish to the match saw Mysterio quickly pin a distracted Zayn after Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley attacked Kevin Owens on the entrance ramp. Following the show, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer reported that Owens is battling a legitimate rib injury. It's a fractured rib. So the story's actually been working on it for a while, and it was just one of those things where they were waiting for a time to finish up with everything he finish up. He's gonna get rest. With Owens seemingly sidelined, Zayn will team up with Seth Rollins to face Mysterio and Priest on the July 31 episode of Raw. Would you like to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn feud again? Let us know in the comments section below. WWE poor booking. WWE SmackDown is one show away from the biggest party of the summer, as the company will head to Detroit for this year's SummerSlam. Meanwhile, fans reacted to the popular duo of Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville's loss to the makeshift team of Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair on the blue brand. Last night, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville made an appearance on Friday Night SmackDown. The two stars from Monday Night Raw were booked in a tag team match against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Unfortunately, the champions embarrassingly lost to the makeshift team, and fans didn't appreciate it. Green and Deville lost their first match as the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and fans blamed the company for poorly booking the champions and the division. The finish of the match upset a lot of viewers as Flair and Bianca bickered for a while before pinning Green clean for the win. It will be interesting to see how the company plans on strongly booking the champions going forward. Earlier this year, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez relinquished the Women's Tag Team Championships due to Morgan's injury. The company set up a fatal 4-way match where Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler won the titles for the first time. Unfortunately, their run lasted a little over a month after Shayna Baszler turned on Ronda Rousey during their title defense in London at Money in the Bank 2023. Morgan and Rodriguez won the titles for the second time. However, their second reign was shorter than their first reign. Raquel Rodriguez started to feud with Judgment Day's Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw. During one of the interactions, Mammy injured Rodriguez's leg before their title defense. Later, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville defeated the team and won the title. Morgan and Rodriguez last a bit over 2 weeks as champion. Meanwhile, the company has poorly booked the division over the past few months and the current champions. After winning the titles, Green and Deville made one appearance on Monday Night Raw and lost on Friday Night SmackDown. What are your thoughts on the women's tag team division? Sound off in the comments section below. Controversial ending to close out Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Veteran wrestling journalist Bill Apter and WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long recently discussed the Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar match, which is take place at SummerSlam. Lesnar and Rhodes have been at each other's necks since the night after WrestleMania 39, with each of them having 1 win apiece. Cody laid out the challenge for a rubber match. Brock returned on the July 3 episode of Raw, and the following weeks, the two men brawled on several occasions. This led to a match being made official for SummerSlam 2023. On a recent episode of the Wrestling Time Machine podcast, Long claimed that it was time for Cody to embarrass Lesnar inside the squared circle. The only thing I can say is it's about time. Bill Apter also felt that the American Nightmare would walk out with the win. However, he mentioned that WWE would definitely protect Brock and still make him look strong in defeat. Cody's gonna win, and it's not gonna be the end of the story, but it's gonna be some sort of controversial ending. Not gonna be one where Brock Lesnar is gonna be left looking bad inside the ring. There's gonna be some sort of stipulation that gonna be in there in the special match, whatever it's gonna be. But I think Cody is going to come out victorious in this one. This week on Raw, Cody Rhodes showed up after the heinous attack by Brock Lesnar the previous week. Rhodes claimed that his mother was very upset with Brock for attacking her son. He mentioned that Lesnar made a huge mistake by not finishing the job, and now he was out for revenge. The American Nightmare made it clear that just winning was not enough, and he was going to embarrass the Beast during their encounter at SummerSlam. With both stars tied at 1-1, it will be interesting to see who finally emerges supreme in the final match of the trilogy. Are you rooting for Cody Rhodes or Brock Lesnar? Sound off in the comment section below. Anoa'i family member shakes the bloodline saga. The thrilling Samoan storyline continues to be one of the hottest angles in wrestling as we approach WWE SummerSlam 2023. During a recent episode of Writing with Russo, the former WWE writer spoke about the possibility of Zilla Fadu joining the company to work with his cousin. The late great Umaga's son might not have much in-ring time under his belt, but he's already expressed the desire to one day join his family members in WWE. While dissecting the Anoa'i family tree on Sportskeeda's YouTube channel, Vince Russo came across Zilla Fatu amongst the current active wrestlers related to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Russo was surprised by Fadu's look and claimed he was the most babyface looking superstar he'd seen emerge from the Samoan camp. Vince also realized Zilla was quite young and didn't rule out seeing the young rookie be a vital part of the Bloodline narrative in the future. Now bro, I've got to tell you, I just pulled up Zilla Fatu images. Bro, he 1,000,000,000% looks like the underdog babyface. Oh my god bro. This guy, out of everybody I've seen in this family, this guy reeks babyface. That could be something. He looks very young though. How old is he? 22, 23? Yeah, he is very young. Hey bro, who knows? They may be building this whole thing around that kid. Umaga's son has a wholly intriguing story as he previously spent 6 years in prison for aggravated battery. Having been incarcerated at 15, Zilla Fatu was released last year and quickly set his sights on becoming a professional wrestler. As Ricochet revealed exclusively to Sportskeeda Wrestling, Zilla wanted to join the family business and is currently training under Booker T at Reality of Wrestling. Zilla Fatu made his in-ring debut earlier this month for Booker's company, and many top names, including a current superstar, were spotted at the show to support the newcomer. Fatu has been following the Bloodline on TV and in multiple interviews has admitted that his goal is to join WWE and wrestle with or against his cousins someday. Will WWE also sign Zilla Fatu? Let us know your reactions in the comments section below. Which movie did WWE's Solo Sikoa act in? Solo Sikoa is one of the top stars on WWE SmackDown and the last remaining active wrestler in the Bloodline with Roman Reigns. He has played a top part in the Bloodline's development over the past year and has given fans some of the top moments in the faction's run. Before becoming a full-time wrestler, Sikoa worked outside WWE in different fields. In 2018, he was cast in a movie titled Destroyer, also starring Nicole Kidman. The movie is about a police detective who reconnects with people from an undercover assignment in her distant past to make peace. It stars Nicole Kidman in the lead role, along with several other noteworthy Hollywood stars such as Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes / Winter Soldier, Bradley Whitford, The West Wing, and Tatiana Maslany, She-Hulk. Sikoa plays the role of Taz in the movie. Credited under his real name Joseph Fatu, he appears as one of the criminals who is investigated by Kidman. The Enforcer puts on a great performance in the scene, just as he does in WWE week after week. Solo Sikoa has become a top star in the company and has continued to help Roman Reigns push the Bloodline forward while building momentum for himself. He could move into the acting business, much like The Rock and Reigns in the coming years. He has the looks and charisma to become a big name on the silver screen. It's no secret that the WWE creative team has high hopes for Solo Sikoa. He came into the company and joined NXT before winning winning the North American Championship rather quickly. However, he was forced to drop the title and move to the main roster to join Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Since then, Sikoa has picked up wins over several top stars and has only been pinned by a handful of men. He has played his part extremely well in the Bloodline's implosion, and it looks like he is slowly getting tired of the Tribal Chief. He is the last remaining active wrestler with the Tribal Chief, and that could lead him into a rivalry with his leader down the line. The Enforcer has been built as a dominant star by the company, and the rivalry could see him finally dethrone Reigns as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion and take control of the Bloodline. Do you want to see Solo Sikoa as the next top champion of the company? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Solo Sikoa joins Roman Reigns' match at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns will defend his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Jey Uso at SummerSlam. There's more than a little animosity between the two, with Jey having stayed under Reigns' thumb for the past 3 years. While it appeared that the Tribal Combat match meant that no one would be allowed to interfere in the match between the two, that appears to have changed tonight on SmackDown. In the lead-up to the Tribal Combat match, Roman Reigns met Jey Uso to decide the terms. During that time, when Solo Sikoa tried to attack Uso, Reigns stopped him. Multiple rumors arose that in a Tribal Combat match, no one else except the two stars was allowed to interfere in proceedings. Thus, Solo Sikoa would not be allowed to influence the ending. That's not the case anymore, as it appears. On SmackDown today, Michael Cole said that Solo Sikoa could get involved in the Tribal Combat match. This came after a lot of people believed that it would be a proper one-on-one match, with no one helping either star. This has certainly changed things around and will now put the odds in Roman Reigns' favor once again, with Jimmy Uso out with injury. Let us know what you think of the Tribal Combat match in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for